Well, it's been over a month and a few days since I've done a video in my car. It's been since like the 20th of April. My Rickenbacker video didn't blow up like I thought I would, but oh well. It's blowing up on Facebook though. I mean, a little bit. Not really, you know, but at least it's somewhere, you know. I follow some of these bass communities in Facebook, and I try to throw my video out there. You know, I follow some Rickenbacker groups, and only a couple times have I posted something on them, but yeah, you know, the Motorhead video that I did, the third successful attempt. It wasn't my third attempt, you know. I didn't get it right quite a few times. I screwed it up a little bit, but probably gonna try it again this weekend, maybe. Not sure. You know, I'm gonna try to do more recordings of stuff like that, but I don't want to post too much of the same songs every time. I don't want to keep doing For Whom the Bell Tolls and Motorhead every time, but as cool as my For Whom the Bell Tolls was, it wasn't as successful as my Motorhead. You know, song's called Ace of Spades. It's pretty loud and obnoxious for some, so it's definitely not sorry, I feel like I got something stuck in my nose that's not wanting to come out, so that's why I kept sniffling there, because it feels kind of like stuffed. Anyway, what have I been up to lately? Well, over the last month, we're already almost done with May. Like next week we'll already be in June. Well, during the month, the beginning of the month, probably to end April, I don't think I really did much. The beginning of April, my dad came into town, finally, for the first time, so we got to see him for the first time, hang out with him for the weekend, you know. It was nice. It was really nice. And then worked, you know, still working at that fucking hospital. I'm grateful for the little things. No matter how much I bitch and complain, I am grateful for the little things. Really just the money. Other than that, you know, it's whatever, but you know, it's been kind of tough lately there, a little bit. Not really. The managers don't really bother me too much, but it's just been getting a little irritating being there, you know. Honestly, I'm done working there, but you know, I need the money. I haven't been trying to find other jobs, so I'm just gonna sit tight there for God knows how long I can. So, yeah, my dad came over for the first time for a weekend. And then I worked, and I don't think I really did anything over the other weekends. I just worked and chilled out, enjoyed it. Oh, the weekend before last, Nate turned 22. So Nate's one of my only best friends that I got. Nate and Jake are really the only. I have friends, but you know, those two are the only friends that I really hang out with, you know. There's Robert, but Robert's busy. I haven't spoken to Robert in a few months. I texted him once after my Motorhead video, but he's busy. He's a busy guy, you know. And then there's sorry, my nose is itching. And then there's Jake and Nate and Jake. And of course, I hung out with my dad and my aunt Jack. You know, so weird seeing this area without trees. So yeah, last week was Nate's birthday. He turned 22. I had a great time. Not a big friend. Not a big. I actually. This is gonna sound fucking rude. Sorry, Nate. I mean, one of the guys is pretty cool. He knows I didn't like the other guy, but not a big fan of his friends. Really, not a big fan of his friends. But no hate for the guys, except. Well, actually, I'm not a big fan of one of them more, but Nate totally gets it too. Nate was like, that guy annoys the shit out of us too. So I was not very likable to one of the friends, and Nate knows it. Nate knows it. So we went to his grandma's house, his grandma and grandpa's house, and oh my God, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. It's like a vacation home. It's very like tropical, very like pirate themed, very Native Indian stuff all over the place. They have a Mike Tyson's boxing glove that's signed by Mike Tyson. I'm like, oh my God, that's the best thing in the house, hands down. That's hands down the best fucking thing in the house. The Mike Tyson glove. I was like, oh, dude, that is the best thing in the house. But yeah, their house is very pirate and sea themed. Their house was custom built by the grandma's family, I guess. And it used to be smaller, but now it's actually bigger. It was a much smaller house, but then they modified the house over time. And yeah, they have like 3 pantries. They have a basement with some pretty cool shit down there. They have like 3 patios. Did I say that already? Like 1 first floor patio, a patio for a bedroom, and then there's like a patio for the second floor. Like, it was heavily modified, man. It's a good house for an old couple, or a family to take a vacation in. Yeah, that house was wild, dude. I was like, whoa, fucking crazy looking house here. I couldn't stop complimenting how nice the house looked. I could not stop saying how nice the house looked. The front yard looked really cool. They had a guest house in front that looked really cool, like a studio house. Turn off. I kept hearing that going. I was like, oh shit. And yeah, it was just a really amazing house. I had a great time. Met a lot more of his family and friends. I feel so bad for one of the people there. The friend that I'm not a big fan of, his mom was there, and I was like, oh God, the mom was a really nice lady though, which is why I feel kind of bad for the guy, or for the mom, because I wasn't a big fan of her son. I was not a big fan of her son, and I hate having to say that, but it's just true. It's true, I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy or anything like that. The guy genuinely gets on people's nerves, and that's why I'm not a big fan. Plus, he almost killed Nate in a car accident, so, I'm not. He's kind of an idiot like that. Not Nate, but the friend of his. I'm not going to say his name, but yeah, the guy was fucking a bit of a Evel Knievel type character, he doesn't care if he likes living too wild to the point where destroying a car, even if it's a really expensive car that you're trying to pay off. So, but anyway, yeah, so we hung out there, had pizza for almost majority of the day. Then after that, oh, and by the way, the friend that I'm not a big fan of, he wasn't at the grandma's house. He was supposed to, but I guess he wasn't. He was working. But the other friend, he's an okay guy, but he's on the strange side too, but he's not a bad dude. He's a big Dungeons and Dragons lover, and he kept talking my ear off about Dungeons and Dragons. But they don't play the typical way. They like playing the kind of a more funnier way, I'm not gonna lie. It's not dragons and witches and warlocks and knights and swords and shit. They like playing like a more chaotic disaster of the modern world. Crack addicts, mass murderers, and fucking bunch of killers, you know. So I thought it was kind of funny. So I did not enjoy the conversation. It was just really, it was funny, you know. It's just, that's such a funny way to play Dungeons and Dragons. But I don't play Dungeons and Dragons, so it's not something I'm really interested in. But just the way they were explaining it to me was just so damn funny. So for shits and giggles, I made my own little character, even though I'm not really gonna play. You know, it was just really funny to just kind of chip in. And a Billy the Kid type character who's a fucking wannabe, like a Luffy, where he wants to be on the wanted post, and he's a cocky little fucker. You know, it's just, it was just funny. You know, it was funny just for the conversation. But honestly, I am not a big fan of Dungeons and Dragons. I am not. I do not particularly care for that kind of game. It looks boring as all fuck, personally. And cards. I don't really get into cards either. No hate to the people who do, though. No hate to the games, really. It's just, they're just not for me, you know. You know, I don't really collect cards, or play D&D. It's not for me. So, yeah, but we went mini golfing, and we hung out at I always botch the names. It's some kind of towers, Twin Tower. It's not Twin Towers. It's something Towers Bowling in Tacoma. I keep thinking it's Twin Towers, but it's not fucking Twin Tower. Tower Lane or something like that. Tower Lane Bowling or something like that. I'm not really too sure. I stopped bringing in snacks for first thing in the morning. I just bring my lunch. I'm so tired of bringing in the snacks that my nieces munch on. These little yogurt balls and fruit snacks and wafers. I'm so tired of bringing shit like that. Because now I'm 300 pounds again. And it's just like, you know, fuck. I don't want to keep... I gotta stop... They want me to snack and continue eating like regularly, but I can't. Like, I don't have the proper food to do that. You know, I can't buy 30 Lean Cuisines and fucking 1 Lean Cuisine a day. You know, I can't do that. And I can't have a plate every day of salad, something and something. I can't do that. So it's kind of a fucking challenge losing weight that way, you know. I'm genuinely having a hard time even with food around me to not eat. Because, you know, yes, there are snacks, but I can't fucking snack, man. Like the food I have is not good for me. You know, it's not good. So I'm having a really hard time with my weight because now I'm 301 pounds. Now I'm even more than where I wanted to be. And I'm like, fuck, man. Why can't my body just fucking work? Like, just work. Eat the fat. Do your job. You know? I am moving around and working. Why won't my body just recognize that? You know what I mean? Why won't my body understand that I am moving? Fucking burn the fat off that way, you know? Why does it gotta be so hard? You know what I mean? Why, for something so stupid as that? Like fat. Fat builds up in your body so easily, but it's so hard to get rid of. It just does. The logic there doesn't make any sense. Why it's got to be so difficult. You know what I mean? But anyway, back to where I was. Yeah, I'm dealing with weight issues. I'm pretty annoyed right now, so bear with me on that. But anyway, I guess I'm gonna end it here. I'll do a part 2, so this video is not 30 minutes long. I haven't done a part 2 in a while, but I am gonna upload these videos, hopefully. So see y'all in a bit.